Hey guys, thanks for tuning on in to my informative speech on Grant Cardone. My name is Gerardo Garduño, and today I brought with me a book written by himself. It's a New York Times bestseller called Be Obsessed or Be Average. And along with this book, I have a few websites that I'm using as resources for this speech here. How many of you wish to be successful with their careers and livelihood after college? There are many stories to which stand out in spite of a memorable success story, but one story has brought guidance to my life in so many different occurrences. I chose Grant Cardone for my informative speech because he has the most fascinating rags to riches story to boot. Grant Cardone is a prominent international businessman, a multi-billionaire real estate mogul, renowned speaker, best-selling author, and social media guru. His story possesses hidden insights that can teach us, give us guidance, and most importantly, benefit us in important ways. So with that being said, if you're ready to learn more about how Grant Cardone became the successful man he is today, let's dive in. To kick this speech off, I will be offering a brief history of Grant Cardone's years growing up into adulthood, Cardone's battles with substance abuse, and finally, his most historical accomplishments. Most successful stories shine on the greatness of being gifted. Grant Cardone does not have this kind of story. He was born in Lake Charles, Louisiana in 1958, whose parents were children of Italian immigrants. His parents owned a little grocery store before he was born, and when his parents saved up enough money, his father embarked on an insurance company, but then lost his company after a few business deals fell through. His father then became a licensed stockbroker by the time Grant Cardone was born. His family was firmly in the middle class, whose neighbors were by majority doctors, living in a lakefront dream house with nice vehicles and a stellar boat. But that didn't seem to last very long. Only a year and a half later, his father died of a heart condition at the age of 52. His mother, without ever holding up a job of her own, moved into a tiny brick house on a tiny lot in the city. Life was horrid, and everything in value was stripped beneath them. Meanwhile, Grant Cardone, a heart like his father's, continued to persevere for change, striving to be successful, but his battles didn't end up there. Mr. Cardone tried so hard to follow his father, but found himself lost, addicted, and confused. He graduated from McNeese State University in 1981, which left him $40,000 in debt with college loans and an accountant degree that he didn't even intend on using. He began his career working as a salesman at an automotive company, but developed a bad drug problem. He tried treatment, but seamlessly went back to his old ways. Grant Cardone ended up around the wrong crowd, and one night was beaten up seconds away from his own death. But that didn't even steer him into the right direction. On his 25th birthday, Grant Cardone showed up to his mother's house loaded. His mother took one look at him and kicked him out. And the last thing his mother told him was that he's no longer allowed at the house until the day he cleans himself up. He finally checked himself into treatment one last time after his mother disowned him from the family. His success story began here. I have fought that ending battle with addiction in my early years straight out of high school. I found myself lost, confused, and in the worst of situations, hopeless. I was disowned, kicked out, and find myself in the worlds of trouble. And it wasn't until I began to realize that my decisions were hurting my family far exceeding the hurt I delved myself into. I am so thankful to have changed my life around for the better, and my family doesn't even recognize me for who I was. The people I meet on a daily basis have never once questioned my past or speculated that I have been through some of the horror things I've been through. But above all, I have found myself for the first time in my life with purpose. I believe that this was the same awakening Grant Cardone had been given, a moment that led him to find his purpose. Grant Cardone once said, "Your greatness is limited by the investments you make in yourself." Grant Cardone has had the most historical comeback since his dark ages. The first day back to work after treatment, he showed up an hour and a half early to analyze sales strategies and how he could do better at his job. Grant Cardone hated selling cars, but knew he needed to find something he loves out of his job. Grant Cardone once said, "You don't have to like something to love doing it." And that has stuck with me since the day I heard that. With persistence and applied knowledge, Grant Cardone became one of the most best car salesmen in the country. And since treatment, Grant Cardone has continued to follow the self-awareness and self-improvement skills each and every day, writing down 5 goals each day that seem to be so unreachable. Yet it has driven him to the point of reaching these goals. I remember reading in his book called Be Obsessed or Be Average that before he even bought his first property, Cardone had a goal that he would own 250 rental apartments. And to me, that's incredible how he would set the bar so high and strive for it every day. His successes grew after he purchased his first property. Till this day, Grant Cardone is his biggest critic, and because of that, he stands far out in front of all successful individuals today by his significant story from rags to riches. Grant Cardone is a prominent international businessman, a speaker, and owner of Cardone Capital, a $1.5 billion investment firm. He also controls over 4,000 apartments worth over $500 million. Cardone is also the most prominent author of the New York Times best-selling book, If You're Not First, You're Last, and other notable books like The 10 Times Rule and Oaksium Award-winning Sell or Be Sold. In addition to this, he is also the founder of Cardone University, a popular sales training platform that has accrued over 50 million users and continues to grow to this day. His early years were hard, but he was goal-oriented, and he turned his obsession with drugs into an obsession with his work ethic. He is not only a great businessman, but a spiritual legend, a great father, and an inspiration to so many people who just want to see the greener grass on the other side. The great Grant Cardone once said, "If people don't know you for your work ethic, you ain't working." And this concludes my informative speech, guys. Thanks for listening or watching, and I hope something I went over today motivated you. Thanks again.